And one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hustle and Hoops pod. With me, as always, are two of my co-hosts this week, Jacob Duville and Dove Mandel. Jacob, how are you doing this fine morning?
It is a great Thursday. The sun is shining, and we had a nice basketball game last night, so I'm ready to get into it.
Dove, feel the
Doing
same
great.
way?
Yeah.
Doing great. All right, well,
How are you, Shoop?
hey, thanks for asking. I'm also doing great. Got the new puppy, so sleep is kind of lacking a little bit, but
A new father alert. New father
yeah,
alert.
new father. I'm here. I'm ready to go. And let's just get right into it. We'll start with our classic patented hustle and hoops fast break. And we only got one topic on the docket today, and that is Quinn Snyder's stepping down / mutual firing, resigning with the Utah Jazz, which apparently caught Donovan Mitchell very off guard and was shocked by this announcement. So, Dove, do you think this was the right move for Quinn Snyder and the Jazz, or is it the right move, or is it a wrong move for either side? And what's next for Quinn Snyder first?
So, to answer your first question, I think it was a good move. I think it was a good move for Quinn Snyder. I think, he needed to get out of there just for his own benefit. I think we've seen that, he can be a competitive playoff level coach. He's done that for years for Utah. You know, I'm not entirely sure how great it is for his next step. I don't know what teams are looking at him and saying that's our guy over the other candidates. For the Jazz, it's just not, all around not good. I think we all know that. It's just a bad sign. You never like to see your coach just leave without much else word, just gone. And your star player being confused is also not a good sign. It's probably nothing, realistically, the Donovan Mitchell comments are probably just reactive to this situation. A lot of people are taking it to the next step. New York Knicks fans specifically. I don't know. I don't have tons of feelings necessarily for Quinn Snyder. I'm more curious about how this is going to affect the Utah Jazz and their moves in the offseason.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. And there's a couple things I'll say about this. I think in Quinn's eyes, he left because he probably didn't agree with how he saw the organization was going to go. And that may or may not mean he heard that they were sticking with Rudy and Donovan or just going with one of them. And I don't know. I think this team with Donovan and Rudy at the helm has run its course. So Quinn probably saw that and he said, "This is my time to go find my next move." And I do think there are going to be teams out there looking for a Quinn Snyder because he can coach. Like, he's a great coach and he was well liked, and that goes into the organization of the Jazz. I think it definitely rattled some cages for sure. And Donovan not being too pleased with it was kind of a red flag for me because he is the top dog there. And if you're going to say Rudy is, I would disagree. And I think if Donovan wants Rudy gone, you should listen to him rather than the other way around. So it is some red flags, but it's all about their next move right now in terms of the Jazz organization.
Can you repeat what you said about Donovan and Rudy? If
no one's
Donovan,
disagreeing with them.
okay, no. I just meant if Donovan wanted Rudy out, they wouldn't disagree. So just because
Yeah,
I
I
think
think they should go with that is what
the
I'm
issue
saying.
here is, and this is just assumption, I think would be does Donovan actually want to stay in Utah?
I think
long
he would
term?
want to stay if there's a new team around him. And I think he wanted Quinn to stay because Quinn called his number a lot. So I think it's mainly about fit, and Donovan doesn't think that this team is fitting for him. And they could get to the playoffs. They've shown that multiple years in a row, but their success when they get there is just we haven't seen it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Like, it's the right move for Quinn. I think Quinn Snyder's just getting a head start on his future because he's an NBA level coach, like you guys are saying. He has playoff experience, not a lot of winning experience in the playoffs, but he'll find another job, maybe not this offseason, because I think most, if not all, of the head coaching vacancies are full besides the now Jazz. But he was getting fired next year no matter what, unless they won the championship. And I don't think they were winning the championship. So it's the right move for him. The Jazz, on the other hand, this is the first step of blowing it up, because Donovan Mitchell publicly said or leaked it to Woj that he was unhappy. But according to some Jazz beat reporters, they're saying this is not a surprise to Donovan Mitchell. He was not caught off guard. He was expecting this to happen. And he was only saying these comments because he wants his guy brought in. And I think that's going to happen. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to have a big say on who the next head coach is. But will that have a long lasting effect on Utah winning? I don't think so. I don't think Utah really has a path to winning. And this, I don't know if we've talked about it on here or if we talked about it with you guys, or if it was talking about it with other friends. Free agents don't come to Utah. They just don't. They don't get free agents ever. The free agents leave. So if Donovan Mitchell wants to win in Utah, good luck to him, because I don't think it's possible, especially with their current team when they have one of the best centers and one of the best scorers in the league. I think one of them, or if not both of them's got to go. But unfortunately, the one who stays is probably not going to get much help from their GM.
And on top of that, especially if it's Donovan that stays, the return you're getting for Rudy Gobert.
He's going to be overvalued by the Jazz for sure. And I think a lot of teams would like a Rudy Gobert, but are they willing to pay what the Jazz are asking?
Right.
That's the
And
biggest thing. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is if you're keeping Rudy, for example, you're getting a much larger package out of Donovan versus if you're keeping Donovan and trading Rudy. That's all, I'm saying, especially when you're talking about one of them staying and hoping for, championship aspirations.
Yeah, I think the Jazz would have their expectations for what they get back for either player versus what the reality of what they'll get back for either player, especially because in this situation, they don't have leverage anymore. Like other teams know, like they are trading this guy no matter what, or they're trading the other guy no matter what. So it's going to be an interesting, I would say, like 2 to 3 seasons, because as of right now, like I don't see them trading either guy this off season. Like they've made no indication that they will. Maybe the head coach will feel differently. And if that's the case, it might wait till the trade deadline, maybe next season, we'll see. But the Jazz they've been the 1 seed in the West, in a difficult West, and have what 1 second round to show for it, or not even. Like,
Yeah, don't they?
Well, if they don't trade someone now, they're just wasting another season. So
and that's why Quinn Snyder got out of there.
yeah, exactly. Yep. It was a good time for Quinn to leave. And the Jazz have to know that the clock is ticking. You can't just spend all of these prime years thinking about what we should do, and then you're going to look back on it thinking, oh, we should have done something. So it's either they act on it now or waste another year and do something later. But we're all under the consensus that someone's got to go. Who that's
Yeah.
who that's gonna be, we won't know until it actually happens. But
Yeah.
I think the Jazz are leaning towards keeping Donovan.
Yeah. And I'm saying, like, it obviously has to happen if they want to get better because they're stuck in limbo. But
Exactly.
I also am saying whoever stays is screwed because I don't think the Jazz have any path to success because they're the Jazz. Like they need to draft they need to draft another Donovan Mitchell, someone better than Donovan Mitchell, someone better than Rudy Gobert to have any chance at winning because their biggest free agency pickup in the last 15 years is Jordan Clarkson. Like says a lot about a friend. Like there's other small markets that have difficulty getting free agents to come to them, but when Jordan Clarkson is the best pickup you've had in the past 15 years, you have guys like Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, Gordon Hayward, like all leaving in free agency, and Paul Millsap too. Like it's rough. Like none of them want to stay. So sorry,
Clarkson
Jazz
came,
fans. Jordan Clarkson.
but that
That's
was
free agency
not
pickup.
enough.
Yeah, that's
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's
Six
what, that's
man.
what she was saying.
no disrespect to Jordan Clarkson. Like he's a hooper, but when he's the best, it's like a 0-time All-Star is the best you can get. in
They
the
got
open
Mike
market.
Conley too, but that's not enough.
That was a trade.
That was a trade.
Yeah, but at least they were making a move.
They did make a
Right,
move.
but Shoob's point is that like if they don't make a move, there's nothing else that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like they're not
Except
getting
for
anything
draft.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that they'd have to
and
make a move for that.
they do too well in the regular season to
Exactly.
get any draft capital.
Regular
so.
season Warriors.
Utah Jazz with Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell on their team are never going to tank.
Yeah, that's a
It's-
fact.
They just can't. All right, but we've covered all the bases with the Utah Jazz for now. We'll get back into them maybe a little later in the show or maybe in a different show because there's going to be a lot of rumors, free agency, trade buzz surrounding them specifically. But I don't know if you've noticed, fellas, but there's been some big games happening in the past few days and past a week and a half since we last recorded an episode. Since we last recorded, games 1, 2, and 3 have all happened. Something funny.
Yes.
I don't know if you've
Just the way you
noticed,
said that.
fellas.
But
that was good. That was
but in
good.
the past week and a half, games 1, 2, and 3 have all been.
It's sarcasm. Did you
All right,
pick up on it?
I want to point out real fast. I did not like how game 1 was Thursday and game 2 was Sunday.
Yeah, the fact
What
that we
is
have
that?
3 days, the fact that there's 3 days in between home games
Yeah, home
is
games. That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying. Nuts. That is
is
nuts.
ridiculous.
Give me the
Um,
Saturday night.
And then of course, instead of having game 3 on Tuesday when I open at work, no. Let's have it 9 p.m. on a Wednesday evening.
Like, what's gonna suck is
I'm good.
tomorrow there's no hockey or basketball because the Oilers had to lose in 4.
We're in the
Thanks.
gulag.
Thanks for that, Shub. Thank you for that.
I'm just as upset as you are.
It's a tough time for sports fans. We have to look to baseball right now.
Yeah, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Hit 'em up.
Yeah, these guys watch other sports. I don't know
Let
about
the
that.
podcast be known. Let it be known on record right now that Doug used to be a fanatic for other sports, such as
That's-
college
I don't know.
basketball,
That's not,
college
okay, that's
basketball.
high
still
school
the,
basketball,
these are still
AAU,
basketball.
all other
Other-
levels
others-
of basketball.
Levels of basketball, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Other sports he's never been a
You're
Other sports I've
league.
never been a fan of. Well, that's not true. Other sports I've never
a
followed.
fanatic is the
Yeah,
word. he
fanatic
chose.
is wild. Of other sports, that's just a deadlock.
Well, no, I meant not other sports, other basketball
levels of basketball. Yes, that's absolutely true.
Fanatic.
Yeah, that's
Fanatic.
absolutely true.
And he lost touch. He lost touch with that. And I'm gonna need the Hustle and Hoop followers to back me on this to get Doug back into get him
All
back into
11
the
of
trending.
our all 11 of our consistent listeners.
Get it trending, guys.
Yes, we need him to get back on the horse. Come on.
Get
This one's
Doug
for
on the
Doug.
horse. Is that that's the
Hashtag
Get
Doug
him back
on
in the
horse.
film room. Get Doug back.
All right. So just to refresh everyone's memory for us and who's listening, game one was fairly close in San Francisco until the fourth quarter, where the Warriors just stopped scoring after about the 6-minute mark. And the Celtics ended up running away with it. It was pretty much a blowout by the looks of the score at the end of it. Game two was the opposite. The Celtics never really got anything going, and the Warriors were in control essentially the whole game. And last night's game three was Celtics all the way. The Warriors cut it to, I think they took the lead maybe. They took the lead at one point.
It was the third quarter.
Yeah, the third quarter Warriors showed up. They took the lead for a little bit by like 2 points. And then after the Warriors took the lead, the Celtics just took it back. Fourth quarter, like it was all Celtics, and that ends up being a blowout too. So technically, based on score, we've had 3 blowouts, but games 1 and 3 have both been pretty good games up until the fourth quarter. Is there any game in particular that you guys want to talk about first, or you want to talk about last night's game?
Let's start with last night's game. Firstly, just to be a little bit more specific, it wasn't like a complete blowout in the first half. It was bad. It was definitely
It was a
bad.
consistent 10-point game.
Yeah, it was definitely bad, but it wasn't like
it wasn't 20-point blowout.
It wasn't what we've seen in these playoffs. And I think maybe the reason I'm saying that is because we just know that when it comes to the third quarter, the Warriors are gonna go off.
Turn up.
Yeah. So like realistically, maybe that was partially me. I mean, I did get in a little late, but I just restarted the game and finished it later. I don't know. I felt like the Warriors were always gonna turn it back on once it got to the third quarter. So I wasn't ever really feeling like it was totally out of reach. And then you get to the third quarter and they, like you guys said, retake that lead. But then Boston goes on that, 26, 27, 28 to 8 run or whatever. Just completely blew it back out of the water. And it was, I don't know. Who do you guys put this? I wouldn't even say second half loss, because I feel like it was really just the last like 15, 16 minutes of the game. Who do you put this really on for the Warriors?
Last night?
Yeah.
Last night was on Draymond. It's not even close. Like Draymond told you, he played like shit last night. Draymond Green, we've known he's the heart and soul of the Warriors. When he's playing well, you know he's not going to give you the points. The points are an added bonus if he's giving you like the 9, 10, 15 points. But like 7 combined rebounds and assists, like a lot of turnovers, bad shot selection, bad passes, not there on the defensive end, fouled out,
not boxing out.
Like he was not there yesterday, and he needs to be there if they want to win, especially if Al Horford is having a good game, if Robert Williams is having a good game, if like he's your guy, he's your defensive anchor and your offensive anchor. And he wasn't present yesterday. That loss is entirely on him.
Entirely?
I would agree, but I wouldn't say entirely.
Yeah.
I would say the Warriors role players couldn't score, and the second chance difference, the second chance points was like night and day. Like Boston had like 25 to the Warriors like 8. It was gross. So, I mean, they're just not rebounding the ball on the defensive end, and that's what happens when you play so small. So, it's tough because the Celtics can stretch the floor, and they're making each pass count, and they're making the Warriors pay. So, when you get so many second chance rebounds and second chance opportunities, that's going to torch you. And when you're relying only on your star players offensively to score and they can't, then your role players have to step up. And when they can't, you're just completely shit out of luck. Like, so I don't think it's completely on Draymond, but he definitely didn't help. I'll say that.
He was the head of the snake or whatever.
The top of the pyramid, but everything else fell.
Like from him, everything else kind of fell down as well. You know, no pool tonight, really. I saw someone say the pool is shallow tonight. To the rebound that you were talking about, just the numbers. It was a 47-31 rebound advantage, so plus 16 in the rebounding category for Boston, including a 15-6 offensive rebound advantage. It's just you can't have them having
That's not, you
double
can't win
digit
games like that.
offensive rebounds, and especially like when you're getting to 15. I think the points in the paint differential was huge too. Some like 50, 60 something to 12 or something like that. Like that's just not the Golden State Warriors. We know the Golden State Warriors to be a team that pretty much starts their offense by getting into the paint, gets that movement going by getting the ball into the paint. You had a mediocre to average game from Andrew Wiggins. I don't
think Wiggins was like a if anything, like net zero, maybe a net positive, like a slight net positive. Like he
could have shot better.
18 and set. Yeah, he could have shot
Definitely
better
could've
from
shot
three, but
better.
he's never been known to be a knockdown 3-point shooter.
We can circle back to Draymond. And I guess if we're sticking to the Warriors right now, try to stick to the Warriors first. You didn't get like that huge impactful rebound game from Kevon Looney. At least it didn't feel like it during the game.
You just didn't get Kevon Looney minutes. Kerr went away from Looney in the second half, which is weird because Looney played like the most minutes he had played in a first quarter in a long time. And then Robert Williams had his biggest minutes game in like a month and a half. So it's a little interesting that they chose not to match him there.
Yeah, we have to be careful about the Robert Williams thing. These Celtics fans are diseased the way they are attacking everyone talking about Robert Williams. We know Robert Williams is injured, just to start that off, just to let anyone listening know we're aware of that before anyone tries to tell us that, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're aware of that, and it plays a role, we know. And there's other things that play a role in certain aspects of Boston's, interior defense sometimes lacking. But last night we saw, despite his, mobility issues here and there, when you have Draymond not boxing out and not, really putting up that much effort on the defensive end or offensive end, you're going to have Al Horford and Rob Williams and maybe even Grant Williams cook.
Yeah. Grant, I mean, let's stick with the Warriors for right now. You look at the Warriors box score. Yeah, I know. You look at the Warriors box score, and like the one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb is Draymond Green, because he did foul out and he still played 34 minutes though. And if you watch the game, like he had like I know he had one possession where he got a rebound and an assist. And if you take away that possession, and like his one bucket was like a easy like dunk created by someone else. So like you take away those two possessions, he's down to 0 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Like I know, like obviously you take away anyone's one possession, but like that's 2 possessions. Like he's down to 0, 3, and 2, based on like one good run that he made. Like he went coast to coast, and then one play set up by someone else. I think Curry at the end of the day had a good game, but he was in foul trouble the entire time. He stopped playing defense.
Which, Duve, you'll love this. You can also give him his flowers for being able to stay in foul trouble, but also remain in the game, despite Kerr's attempts to,
Steph Curry
give him a
played
little
significantly less amount of minutes than he would have if he
of course, but
and I think like those are the minutes that they lost. Those are the biggest things there.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing that him being in foul trouble at 4 is a bad thing, especially since that 4th one was terrible. But once you're there, what are you going to do except for try not to get that 5th and 6th one? And he did a very good job of not doing that. So, you at least got to give him some props for that. And
Clay did have his best game of the series, but he still only finished with 25 on 7 of 17.
I'm not feeling it.
If I were betting on Klay Thompson props, I'm probably taking his unders next game, just because like he looked okay yesterday, but he still had some really bad misses. He's like trying to shoot out of this like playoff long slump he's in. Like he hasn't had a good game really before this since like the Denver series. So he's tough to manage. Jordan Poole, just with Curry completely healthy, like since the Denver series, is just not getting the minutes that we saw him getting.
He had that
And
game 6 last series though, right?
Again against
Yeah.
Dallas, he had like one good game. But
Sorry, I
besides
just
like volume wise, like he's not gonna
yeah.
put up like 25-30 because he's just not gonna put up those shots. And like I think if you look at the Warriors, like we talked about Steve Kerr being a good coach, knows how to manage rotations. I think we might see a different rotation next game. I think like maybe
What is that rotation?
less or minutes for Kevon Looney. Like we've seen him go completely away from him after the first stint that he plays. You might see more Andre Iguodala. You might see more Gary Payton than we did last night. And you might see some Bielitsa to stretch the floor more. So
I need Gary Payton to take that wide open 3.
yeah, I don't know.
I need him to take
at the
that.
top of the key.
I get the hesitation. You know, you're
Look for better shooters.
you're injured. You're with literally the greatest shooting team of all time. It's hard to say like, oh, I'm gonna take this shot in the finals. I get that, but you gotta take that. You gotta take that.
But I want to say we can critique the Warriors all we want, but at the end of the day, this was Boston winning that game. If we're talking game 3, that was Boston winning that game in front of their home crowd, fueling them the whole game. We saw home crowd Jaylen Brown, home crowd Marcus Smart was not someone who showed up in games 1 and 2. Marcus Smart had 24, 7, and 5 last night. That's what he was doing against Miami on his sprained ankles. He's getting healthier. He's obviously not healthy, but he's getting healthier. We talked about Marcus Smart potentially being an X factor in this series. He's going to have to play a large role. He played 39 minutes last night. I think he's a big reason for why they won last night.
I want to quickly. I agree. I totally agree with the Marcus Smart take. He played well, other than a couple missed shots that were okay. But I want to go back to the Warriors' rotational problems right now.
Yeah. Go for it.
Because I have a huge issue with that. And we last week gave Steve Kerr so many flowers about how he knows who to play. What?
I said bouquets of flowers.
Literally, we sent them to his house, but
We walked them.
they literally. Anyways, we talked about how he knows who to play and when to play them. And the first 3 games, the Celtics, like I said last week, they didn't back down and match up with the Warriors. They played the Robert Williams and Al Horford together. And sometimes they had mismatches, but ultimately they outmanned them, and now they're killing them.
They made the Warriors adjust.
Yes, they're making the Warriors adjust, but the Warriors aren't adjusting.
Yep.
Steve Kerr is still playing small, getting shit on, and all he's doing is calling timeouts and then putting the same team back out there, and they're doing the same thing, and the lead goes up and up and up. So I don't know what Steve Kerr is doing, but he needs to shuffle these rotations way better. Probably put in Kevon Looney for more minutes so they can actually get a defensive rebound and get up the floor. I mean, like, these second chance opportunities are not going to stop if they're just keep playing the same guys. Like, they're going to keep getting out rebounded. They're playing against 2 centers down there. Like, Draymond's not going to have rebounding numbers if he's just getting bullied down there. And that is on Draymond, but he's also looking like a PJ Tucker on the Houston Rockets right now. Like, I don't know how he can do more other than his passing and offensive ability. Like, he can't do much on the defensive end.
We said that the Warriors should be the ones dictating who Boston rolls out.
Yes.
And
right.
It's the other way around right now. And
yeah. I said
something the Warriors
Boston boys are probably going to have Grant at a center, but now they haven't done that at all.
And this leads directly into what I wanted to start the Celtics stuff with. And the reason I think that they're dictating the flow of these lineups, this drop coverage that
Oh,
they're
it's
pulling
atrocious.
on these picks is I don't know. I don't know what to think because they're
Can't
getting
believe
the
yeah,
open
it's
shots,
it's atrocious.
but they won. They
Yeah.
won. And they
Al
made the
Horford
shots. It didn't
Al
matter.
Horford runs away from Steph Curry on every screen.
Rob Williams and Al Horford, they give him 5 feet off every screen at the 3-point line. And they still managed to win 2 of these games. One being on their court.
Well, it makes sense because
No, it
they're
doesn't.
literally saying Clay and Curry, those are the only two getting these
You beat
looks.
us.
Yeah, everyone else,
Or
nobody's
everyone
getting a
else beat
bucket.
us. Sorry. Everyone
Nobody
else beat
else is
us.
getting buckets. They said Clay and Curry can do whatever they want on the court, but nobody else will get buckets. And that's what they stuck to. And honestly, kudos to them because it's worked perfectly.
And that's again goes back to where your rebounding argument comes in, or your rebounding issue comes in. They don't have to worry about the rebounding game. You're not going up, you're not switching on screens really that much. Like they're just staying home.
Yeah, you
So
have two
so
trees in
defensive
the paint.
rebounding is not really that much of an issue when you're talking about that, especially if you are giving up those shots 90% of the time. They're not going in 100% of that 90%. So you're going to get those rebounds because you're dropping your center down basically every single time. They don't have to recover. It's a whole mess. And I don't know how the Warriors respond to it. I don't. Because they're giving them what they want and they're still winning.
They need to play better.
The Warriors need to defend better. And I was also going to say this. The Celtics have been doing a great job of getting Draymond isolated on the wing. And it's always Tatum or Brown. And every single time they have Draymond ISO'd, it's barbecue chicken. They give him 1-2 cross and they're off to the rim. I mean, there's no way you can stop them. So that's with a lot of the Warriors defenders. I mean, they do whoever offense on Curry. Clay, he's been pretty good defensively, I'd say. And then mostly everybody else has just had their way. So
Curry's not a bad defender. He's just the worst defender on that lineup, on that starting lineup, unless
fair.
Poole's in there.
Curry's the worst.
Then Poole's by far the worst. But yeah, Curry's the worst on that lineup. He's not a bad defender though.
Yeah. So it's just the Warriors need to communicate better and figure out who they're going to box out because it looked like they were all lackadaisical and just ball watching. And I mean, when you see a veteran team like that, you know, like they have to be rattled. After this 2-1 stint, they have to be rattled and thinking this is a must-win game, which it is. This next game is must-win for them.
Absolutely. You're not going down 3-1.
You're not going down 3-1.
At least that's their mentality. I don't know.
After they've already stolen one at your home, like, nah, you can't do that. Al Horford will have another pop-off game. He will.
Neither team has lost twice in a row, though.
I mean, I don't think
There's only been 3.
No, in the playoffs.
Oh,
in the whole playoffs.
In the whole playoffs.
In the entirety of the playoffs. Neither team has lost twice in a row. So there is that as well. But there's also, I think it's the finals, the team that wins on home court or wins on the other team's court and then goes and wins on home court in game 3, it's like an 86% chance of winning the finals. So it's like
they say a series doesn't start till you win on the road, and
it started in the first game.
Started game 1.
Yeah,
you're playing from far behind if you drop game 1 on your home floor, and the Warriors know that, and they came out with the urgency in game 2 and game 3. The Warriors are the patented live by the 3, die by the 3, and right now,
I disagree with
they
that,
need
okay.
to. I mean, they are you can't they reinvented the 3-point shot.
It's their blood.
But I think they have the capability to
but that's not their
offense. To be a roster where if the 3 isn't hitting, they're not going to die by it.
Steph Curry is one of the best finishers in the league, but it doesn't get talked about at all because of how good of a shooter he is. But that doesn't mean Steph Curry is not going to take a three before he takes a layup every single time. Same with Klay Thompson. Same with Andrew Wiggins, probably. So,
Nah, he likes
And
those
Jay
post.
Poole for
He
sure.
likes those
yeah,
post up middies, faders.
like if you say like, oh, they like the free throw disparity, the free throw disparity will happen in every single game. If the Warriors have a greater free throw, like if they go to the line more than the other team, the refs are going to be in question because they don't attack the paint like other teams. But usually they don't have to because of how well they're shooting the three ball. And when they are shooting the three ball this well, this kind of goes back to a few months ago when we talked about James Harden. We had a debate whether he was a good shooter or a good or whether he was a shooter or driver first and which unlocks which. When the Warriors are shooting the ball well, it means they're going to have to, the other team's going to have to pressure them on the 3-point line, close out harder. And it means the cutting and the dunking and the pick and roll will open a lot more than these pick and fades and like off ball screens do. So that's really like, it's when the three ball's dropping, everything's dropping. When it's not dropping and the other team is playing well and they're making their threes and they're getting their offense, they're getting their looks, the Warriors have a really tough time recovering.
I agree with that, but also,
I mean,
I just quick question: do you guys think 38% from three from a total team aspect is good?
yeah, that's
All right,
above
so
league average.
that's
For-
what both teams shot last night.
For an average team, yeah. For
Okay, so the Warriors
You want the
be
Warriors
like
as a
42,
team to shoot
43.
40?
yeah,
So
I
they
think the
shot
Warriors,
That's not
30%
easy.
last
I
night.
think
That's
the
pretty
Warriors as a
tough.
team should shoot 40.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying. Last night they
38's
didn't.
not that far.
They relatively didn't shoot terribly. They just defensively collapsed and couldn't grab rebounds, and that's where they lost this game. And Draymond fouling out.
The Celtics shot the ball 11 more times from the field and 9 more times from the free throw line.
That's the second chance points.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just like
points in the
it's
paint, second chance
unacceptable.
points, they overlap, offensive rebounds. But that's on Draymond. Like, I know Draymond's undersized, but he's shown us he can be a rebounder. He's shown us that. So when he's not doing it, it means he's not doing his job.
Yeah,
we know he's capable of it.
Because the rebounding and all of that comes from like the 5,000, being on 5,000 at all times and putting in that extra effort in the rebound to box out and move his man and then go up and fight for that rebound. And clearly, I don't want to say what he was doing or say the reasoning behind it because we don't know, but it seemed like he didn't want to or didn't have the energy to or didn't feel like doing it.
One guy I want to give his flowers on the Celtics, Grant Williams had a great game, and it was not by shooting the three ball. He had a really solid game, cutting, filling holes in the paint, getting offensive rebounds, putbacks. He just got to give him his flowers. He was a big role in their success. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but did I mention that the Celtics role players are showing up and the Warriors are not?
No, but I think it was implied. I think it was implied.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be mentioned. Like Derek White in the first two, they don't win the game one if Derek White doesn't show up the way he did. They don't compete in game two if Derek. Well, I'm talking about bench mainly.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah. Like mainly bench.
I was thinking role players. I don't know why.
Mainly bench players. I did say role players at first, but Derek White won them game one.
Difference, yeah.
Yeah, game two, Derek White showed up again, and game three, Grant Williams showed up. And if you want to include or starters that are the role players like Al and Rob Williams showed up in game three. Al showed up in game one and game three. The Warriors have not. Preach gave good minutes, but like he's not gonna score double.
He'll come in and not turn the ball over a ton.
Exactly. The Warriors, Jay Poole has been bad. Looney has not, he's given you numbers, but in my opinion, they haven't really been impactful numbers.
Yeah. There's a difference between just getting 7 rebounds versus getting a rebound in the clutch moments and it turning into, an important possession because of that rebound.
Yeah. Wiggins hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been good either. Like no pop off games for him, like Al had in game 1. Poole has been bad. Otto Porter has been fine. He's shown up in every game he's been in, but
minutes restriction too. It's kind of
7
like
point. Yeah, like he's
can't
not,
expect too much.
Yeah, and Gary Payton didn't play in game 1, showed up in game 2 and 3. It's fine, but he's not going to give you that offense. Iguodala was out since game 2 and for game 2 and 3. You're not seeing guys like Bielitsa show up because they're not in the rotation. So that goes back to Kerr. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about these rotations? So the Celtics are dictating them like crazy.
I want to give my flowers to somebody. Sauce Castillo coming out game 3, pulling a trigger. He missed it.
I was going to say.
But the confidence. The confidence in the NBA Finals to pull a 3 with 2 minutes played. I mean, I just have to give flowers to that.
Sauce Castillo has more NBA Finals points than Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid combined.
Okay.
I don't think that gets talked about enough.
No, honestly, we
narrative.
need to send 2 bouquets to the house. Jacuzzi, can you get that done?
Yeah. Angel.
Thank you, sir.
If we're giving flowers out right now, then I guess someone that we didn't talk about for game 2, Nemanja Bjelica.
Yes.
Big game 2.
On a serious note,
just popped out of nowhere. Game 2, Steve Kerr just said,
you're
speaking of rotations, you're in. Let's see what you can do, big fella. And he did what he always does. He's that he's like a chunky white version of Draymond.
He is not afraid
that doesn't play defense that much.
He's a spark plug.
I will say that about Bjelica.
And can shoot.
He is not afraid to shoot the ball. Doesn't matter who else is on the court with him. If he's open, he's shooting.
Well, I feel like it was only a few years ago that it was like Bjelica was the sniper stretch 4, stretch 5 in the league.
Yeah.
That's just what he was known as. And then he just kind of.
The Heat acquired him last year and they were like, this guy's going to be a big role in our playoff run.
That he just
didn't play.
Never played.
Yeah.
It was Bjelica and Gallinari. Everybody was raving over those two.
And now both of them are, well, I mean, I guess yeah. Tough.
Be careful with your next words here, Doug. This podcast loves Gallo.
I was going to say the only real thing I think
Who's got the Gallo jersey?
It's in the mail.
The only real thing I have Bjelica over Gallo is the playmaking.
Oh, you know what it is?
Court vision.
I hooped against someone. We were playing pickup. Someone had a Gallo jersey on.
That is bold.
In the pickup?
Yeah, Clippers Gallo jersey in the pickup session. Hilarious.
Clippers?
Yeah.
At least give me a Nuggets. Come on.
Clippers Gallo jersey in the hoop session.
That is disgusting.
That is awesome.
Which version? Which
it was the dark blue LAC one.
Oh no.
I have that one, Paul.
Yeah, you guys all have that one. I didn't get that because you guys left me. Who was it?
Gallo.
I think you left me. I think it was Terrence Mann, or
definitely Pat Bev.
It was probably Pat Bev or
maybe
Marcus Morris. Oh, Serge Ibaka maybe.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm not buying a Pat Bev or Serge Ibaka jersey right now. And I'm glad I didn't buy a Pat Bev because he hates the Clippers. So that would have been a shitty jersey.
Don't get me started on Pat Bev as an analyst. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm feeling a salty.
I'm no
retiree analyst from Pat Bev.
The fact that Pat Bev is allowed on NBA TV just because he plays in the NBA is a travesty.
They got to do a trial run with these guys before they actually air
just
it.
Just throw them against Stephen A.
Just not have it live.
Yeah, tell them that it is live, and then just watch it back later.
But honestly, if we're saying that he shouldn't be on there, then Stephen A shouldn't be on there because he doesn't half of those guys shouldn't be on there.
Stephen A is an entertainer. He's
right. So he should be on a different show where it's meant for basketball entertainment, not something that's meant for basketball analytics during a halftime.
You're talking about. I thought you were talking
I'm
about First Take.
Oh, First Take, he can do whatever he wants. That
Yeah,
show is an
The-
entertainment
it
morning. It's a morning
it
talk
has
show. He
been
can do whatever
known
he
that
wants.
the NBA countdown, what halftime show, pregame show, whatever you want to
NBA on
call it,
TNT.
has been
Y'all are on mute and in a
second
different tab.
class. What?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just was saying something.
Oh, I was
Go
like,
ahead.
have I been muted this whole time? Like,
No, go ahead.
I've
Shane,
been
go
getting
ahead.
gaslit into thinking I could be heard. So I was saying it's been known how terrible ESPN's crew is. It's been awful since Rachel Nichols, Michelle Beadle, Paul Pierce. Like
Whoa, name dropping.
I'm not saying they are the root cause. Like Chauncey Billups wasn't great on it. Stan Van Gundy wasn't great on it. Jalen
That is a
Rose,
psycho.
Paul Pierce. Like they've tried a lot of people. And I think this iteration might be the worst. And it's just so second class compared to Turner. Like Turner's got NBA over ESPN. They got NHL over ESPN. They got MLB over ESPN, in my opinion. Shouts out Curtis Granderson. But
All
like,
right. This is an NBA. This is an NBA
I'm
show.
just,
Shoot.
I mean, it's just talking about how ESPN, like, I don't know if it's they're not investing in the right guys or if they don't have the right strategy,
I
but
think they
it's literally
prioritize.
night and day
I think it's
compared
clear
to
that they
Turner.
prioritize the clicks, the
No
the
one's
headlines.
watching it.
That doesn't change their algorithm.
Like,
Sees
oh,
that
bad
people,
press is good press. Like, is
yeah,
that
that people enjoy crazy people yelling at them on their TV. Stephen A. Smith gets tons of clicks and likes and whatever. They're gonna see that and say, "Let's just make more of them." And
Shouts out Shannon and Skip.
and
Skip.
skip. Katie's
Love that.
best friends.
So
I mean,
funny.
if we're talking about like broadcasting crews, TNT is not that much better. As much as we can enjoy the
TNT's S tier
no, they're S tier in broadcasters.
in
Don't get me
entertainment
wrong.
value.
In entertainment value, they are extremely fun to watch if you're just looking for entertainment. But that's why they shouldn't be halftime,
Oh,
analysts,
wait.
like stuff
You're
like.
still on ESPN?
No, we're just kind of, going
Because
through
like
different
Turner, like Charles
broadcasters.
Barkley doesn't know shit about basketball.
The only person
he's
who actually
hilarious.
comes in with notes, and okay, I wouldn't say he doesn't know shit about basketball, but like they don't watch the current NBA. They might watch the finals. They might watch a few playoff games.
Charles Barkley knows the games that he bets on, and that's about it.
Sure, but like they don't watch the regular season. They don't watch games. They don't pay attention to signings and trades and the draft and things like that. They just get a report and read what's in front of them. And that's I do like what's his face? Ernie. Ernie always comes in with the notes. I remember that one picture of him during
Ernie
the
to
bubble.
go.
Ernie's one of the
Where
best journalists.
they had the setups with the plastic things in between everybody, and everyone's was blank except for Ernie's, which was covered wall to wall with post-it notes and little notes about games and stuff like that.
I'd love to meet Ernie Johnson. He seems just like a good guy.
I'd love to meet all
He's
of
just a
them. They
really
all
good
seem
guy.
like good people and they have entertaining and they're successful, whatever. That's not my issue. My issue is that I'm here to watch basketball and like analytics. I want to get someone who's a better, a higher knowledge expertise level than I am. I'm not a coach. I'm not whatever.
Your choice of words there is interesting, of analytics versus analysis.
Sorry, analysis.
And
You know what I
like,
mean?
No, because I think you do mean analytics. I think you want an analytical breakdown, and that you just won't get on national TV. I think like you can ask for good analysts, like analysis of a game, but like you watch,
we don't even get that.
Yeah, but you watch the analytical breakdowns, like what's going on possession by possession, like on YouTube and stuff, and like those people who do those videos, like basketball breakdown, like those types of videos do a great job, but those aren't the types of videos you'll see on national TV. Like you'll see, oh, this guy was playing poorly and that led to the team's downfall.
Do you really even see that?
Yeah, I think you're underestimating them.
I just don't watch it because the things that I've seen, parts that I've seen where it's just like it's a playoff game and it's halftime and I'm bored. I don't have anything else to watch, so I keep it on and I don't mute it. And all I hear is Jason Tatum top 5? Is Jason Tatum top 5 in the league? Steph Curry can't make shots. Does that mean he's no longer the greatest shooting point guard of all time?
Tatum probably is top
LeBron
5.
James is not in the playoffs, is not in the finals. What does this mean
yeah.
for his
Yeah, they're
career and
talking
his
about
legacy?
LeBron.
Like, I don't
That's
care.
not something the TNT crew talks about. The ESPN crew will
Yeah, the
mention LeBron
ESPN,
James
that's their issue. I'll admit that. That was not a great example to bring up.
No,
but you get what I mean.
It is a good example because they literally were talking about LeBron James on the pregame show.
No,
like
I mean an all-encompassing example, like something to, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I just want
Kyrie Irving freaking fast. Like,
let him
he's
do
out of
his
the playoffs.
thing. Like, come on. Like, I just want, I guess, let me
KD
sentence
arguing
and
with
we'll be done with the
Stephen A. Smith.
broadcasting stuff. I want to watch a game where the people who are telling me what's going on actually know what's going on when they're looking at it and aren't just like reacting and giving me hot button takes and reactions to shit. I just want a normal whatever, not on the broadcast, not whatever, nothing specific, just at some point during the game, just try and give me a little bit of real, hey, X player has this is ridiculous.
Doug wants a guy to literally be on the mic and just say word for word, like, all right, and in this replay, you see the pin down screen here, and then the guy goes to the weak side and pulls the 3. He misses it, but they're open for the rebound. That's too much analysis. That's a YouTube video, like you said. That's a YouTube video for.
I don't. That's not what I'm looking for.
In real time.
And I'm talking about just give me a halftime report of shooting percentages, rebounding numbers, assists, turnovers, how their defensive scheme looks, like what kind of defensive scheme they're running, what offensive sets they're running. That is information that is valuable to basketball fans that could actually educate and help people learn how to watch the game and enjoy the game better. That's all I'm saying. Like,
on TNT, at least Kenny will go to the screen and break down specific possessions.
Seconds.
Yeah, they don't give him a lot of time.
For 30 seconds.
And Ernie will name drop stats, and it's just about what the personalities choose to do with them. And I don't know. And you're not gonna get the nerds. A nerd will not ever be on the desk.
That's what I'm trying to say here.
Let's make that a bet.
I think Doug is hating right now, and we can move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
I think Doug is hating because
he doesn't even watch them. He admitted to not watching them.
No, I'm just saying. I think the hate root comes from Doug knowing that he couldn't beat Kenny in a race to the board.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Kenny would tell you, if you beat me, you can have the analysis for 10 minutes, not 30 seconds, Doug.
I would. You wouldn't even see me. I'd move so fast.
The SpongeBob want to see me do it again.
Yes,
that'd be classic out of Doug.
So I reacted because my shirt. I got a notification for my shirt.
The pool party?
The Cade shirt. It literally, they shipped it 10 minutes away from Ohio. They shipped it to a USPS that's literally 10 minutes from my house. It's like I can't just drive there and pick it up.
That's how it works, because then they deliver it.
I don't give a fuck. Why can't
I
just go pick it up from there? Why is that not an option?
I think you can. No, that's an option, to get it shipped. You can get it shipped to a post office and pick it up.
They didn't give me that option.
Remember travel trips, leaving stuff, getting stuff shipped to the post office?
Yeah, but they didn't give me that option. I'm just.
You have to do that.
It's just confusing.
It's not do you want this shipped to a post office? No, that's not how it works. It's not a button you click.
What am I supposed to call them?
Yeah, you
say, hey, this package is coming through. Save it for me, Brody.
Yeah, essentially. If you want it that bad.
Get me to the head of UPS right now.
They're not just gonna hold a package for some random dude that's just calling in.
This is Doug.
Call the president. He's in charge.
This is Doug.
He knows me.
Yeah.
Any other topics we want to cover before we wrap up the show for today? I feel like we should we talk about the keys to success in game 4 real quick,
Should we
or
talk about if you're
Shouts out
ages 16 to
CDL.
24, this is what you do? This is what you should do.
Games to success, keys to success for game 4. Let's go, boys.
Oh,
Get our
okay. That's what we're doing.
caps on.
and predictions, of course.
Quick picks, always.
Okay. Oh, you okay? What are we doing first? Predictions or
Keys to success for
What's
Go.
Warriors' key to success?
Oh, you want me to go? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That was good. That was good.
So, wait, why just the Warriors? Why not Boston too?
We're
Fine,
going
do
after.
Okay.
Do both. Just let him do both. He wants
All
to
right,
do both.
Warriors keys to success. You need one of Jordan Poole or Andrew Wiggins to have like a 20-25 point game on decent efficiency. And you need Draymond to, at the bare minimum, just do those little things that he always does. So just putting in that extra effort in the box out, putting in the extra effort, to communicate like you were talking about earlier, Duve, like he always does to kind of guide the rest of the defense. And then for the Celtics, I would honestly just say ride, keep doing what you're doing. Hope to God that you don't have another stinker game like game 2 where, no one really performs and you finally get a Jason Tatum point. Yeah. Just ride.
Key to success for the Warriors, change the rotations. Just change something up. I know you're only down 2-1, but you got to change something up. Hope Draymond plays better. Hope you shoot better. For the Celtics, take advantage of those mismatches if the Warriors are going to keep giving them to you. Al Horford, if he has to score every point because they're putting not Grant Williams, because they're putting Otto Porter on him, or like getting a switch onto Clay or Wiggins, let Al Horford score every point.
Yes. And let me just say real fast, we got the keys. For the Warriors, limit the second chance opportunities, no more turnovers, and the role players have to step up offensively. It's not like they can, it's like they have to. This is a must win. Boston, like Doug said, keep rolling, and like Shub said, keep working those mismatches. Jason Tatum's doing great getting to the rim. Jaylen Brown is barbecue chicken on everybody. And Al Horford is just looking like a finals MVP right now. So just keep it going. And don't get complacent. Like, if you have a lead in this next game, keep going because the third quarter Warriors are coming, and you might even see a fourth quarter push out of them. So it's going to be very important to stay on the gas pedal. And likewise for the Warriors, they have to keep pushing through it. You might have a 10-point deficit, but keep going, and you'll find your way back. And for my pick, I'm going with the Warriors. And that's because they are going to come out with a sense of urgency, knowing that this is a must-win game.
Dov, did you give your pick?
I don't think so.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah, I probably am gonna go with the Warriors as well. But let's go Celtics. Let's go a little wild. I think the Celtics kind of lock in their possibility of winning a championship, which is just crazy to think about. And the idea of that happening, I don't know. I got possibly Celtics tonight, but I'm not super sold on either. Tomorrow night.
No, 2 nights.
2 nights.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow night. It's 2 nights off.
He's right. It's not tomorrow
2
night.
nights off.
He's right.
I got the Warriors, and here's my hot take: Draymond Green will get a triple double. That is why they will win, because they don't lose when he gets a triple double. I think they've lost like one game ever in the playoffs when he gets a triple double. So Draymond Green triple double, Warriors win. Book it.
Tomorrow night.
Really?
It's tomorrow night.
Wow.
I'm not messing with y'all.
June 10th?
I don't get that.
It's June 10th.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. They played last night, right?
Yes, on Wednesday. I don't understand
what is the scheduling?
Who is scheduling these games?
But then
is it
there's
just some like ape somewhere? Just
then the next one's on the 13th. Like what? But that one's a travel one, so I get it.
I think they wanted
makes sense.
They wanted a Friday game. Is that what it is?
But why did they do 3 and 3 for the Warriors home?
What day is Father's Day?
Sunday.
I don't get this.
I don't know.
Okay, real quick before we leave, didn't even touch on this. Steph Curry left game 3 a little injured. Per Shams, there's optimism that he won't miss any time. It seems he avoided a major injury after getting, I think Al Horford just fell on his foot. Like,
Yeah.
Big, they call him Big Al for a reason. He was definitely hurt, but it seems he avoided any major injury. So good for him.
That would have been the series. That would have been it. So
no Steph Curry Finals MVP.
It's right now it's not looking likely, even if he's healthy. So we'll stay on that course.
I guess if they lose the series, he can't win Finals MVP.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, this is Troy Weaver behind me, the savior.
Just for those listening, Dove has a background.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that
on his Zoom.
Yeah,
he consistently changes it every episode.
Yep.
Yeah, this is another great episode. We'll have Mindy back hopefully by our next episode. Good luck in Arizona, Jack.
Safe travels, Mindy.
Yep.
Now everyone knows where to find him. All 11 of our listeners can track him down
in the state of Arizona. Yeah, good luck.
Catch him at a Rogue In-N-Out.
Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty decent episode. Give us a like or leave us a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our new YouTube channel, Hustlin' Hoops. Follow the podcast feed so you can get updates on when we drop our episodes, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We trying to blow up, act like we don't know anybody. So hit us up.